Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Today Show Detroit. I am Zach Damon here with fashion designer Izzy Camilleri talking about Is Adaptive and all of her great work in health and wellness and in fashion. So great to have Izzy. And, you touched on a great point right before we went to the break about how fashion does circulate and things do come back around, but it's all about just being comfortable and showing your personality. Uh, and I completely agree with you. I think fashion is one of those things where you can't necessarily limit it, right? You have to be able to be creative and wear what you enjoy. But as far as what you've done with your career, uh, what are your personal goals going forward? Is it just to continue to design and just continue to further what you're doing with Is Adaptive, or do you have any, really big kind of bucket list or personal goals you're hoping to attain?
Um, well, I think like with is adaptive, it has been like climbing a very slippery mountain because it's a very new category. A lot of brands now are starting to introduce an adaptive line, but I've been doing it since 2009. And it was at that time, it was like walking in the dark. No
Mm-hmm.
one, nobody, I had no, nobody to inspire or influence me. And so it's been really, really challenging and really, really hard. Um, so I've got a long way to go. And, but at the same time, I'm excited for it. And it is a very big goal. And so that's where I'd like to go. Um, or before, when I was younger, I did want to focus more on fashion and create more of a fashion brand. Not to
Sure.
say that this isn't a fashion brand, because it is. It's just focusing on a different demographic,
Yeah.
and a demographic who don't have all the options that able-bodied people have. So uh, I'm happy to stay here and learn how I can serve my customers better.
Absolutely. One thing that I definitely understand as well is the great buying power that the disability population has. I think a lot of
Hmm.
retailers and a lot of designers don't necessarily see that. I mean,
Hmm.
for instance, we're in Detroit, in Michigan, and as far as the U.S. in 2018, we contributed up to $9 billion to the American economy in terms of revenue. And to me, that's nothing to bat an eye about. Absolutely.
No. Also, because there's also, uh, not a lot of companies that are specifically serving the disability community. So for people that do and companies that do want to enter this arena, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Hmm.
Absolutely. And then do you, I'm curious too, is Adaptive, do you have individuals that help you design that, like your colleague, for instance, who you had mentioned earlier in the show? Do they help you design, or do they give you feedback?
No, I usually do most of the designing, but sometimes people do suggest things, and I'm
Sure.
always open. Or sometimes customers will tell me what adaptations they've made, or their mom, or their spouse, or their grandmother has made to their clothes,
Sure.
and sometimes those are really, really great ideas,
Yeah.
things that I could potentially incorporate if I feel that it could be beneficial to the group of people I serve. So yeah, and I'm always open to listen and share, and yeah, but it's mostly my title, all the design
Absolutely.
work.
Okay. No, wonderful.
Mhm.
And I'm curious too. I mean, where do you see, kind of the fashion industry going? Do you feel like I personally believe that the adaptive fashion movement is here to stay, that it's only going to continue to grow, especially with the growing population globally, with the elderly and individuals with disabilities, are the fastest growing global minority. And so, I definitely think it's here to stay. And do you feel the same?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just been really eye-opening for people. And I think even for myself, I didn't know that a problem existed. I didn't know that people with disabilities had clothing challenges. And it was only until I met my first client that I was exposed to all of that. And I know a lot whenever, I run into someone and uh, I explain what I'm doing, a lot of times people are like, wow, I never thought about that before. I had no idea.
Yeah,
So I think that now that uh, it has this category is starting to grow and become something uh, bigger. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's going away. If anything, it's just going to grow.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, and I'm curious too. For those that are searching for something like is adaptive. How can they keep in touch with you? How can they get a hold of your brand and buy some of your product?
Well, they can go to isadaptive.com. There you can see the whole collection. You can always email us if you've got any questions. You can call us as well. We've got a telephone, a toll-free telephone number. Um, and then you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all of that under Is Adaptive.
Wonderful. And, I'm curious too, will is adaptive be at any of the upcoming fashion weeks, such as New York Fashion Week, or any of the global coming fashion weeks coming up?
Not right now. We have participated in some other fashion events, and we're going to be doing one with a veterans association in the U.S. in September. But I haven't tackled a fashion week.
Sure thing, no problem. I mean, as you know, there are amazing events, wonderful electric atmosphere, and I'm sure, as things progress with this adaptive, we will see them, and then of course see you and your wonderful face introduced on the runway. So great things, folks. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Today Show Detroit. I am Zach Damon here with Izzy Camilleri, the fashion designer and founder of Is Adaptive. Just a wonderful, amazing career that Izzy has had. And of course, you guys, such an innovator in adaptive fashion as well, and a great passion for not only accessible fashion, but inner wellness as well. So, really, really appreciate that. And, Izzy, I'm curious because, of course, uh, I'm sure you've heard it spoken to you many times in your career, but I'd like to know for those young little girls watching, they're saying, I want to be my own boss someday. I want to have my own business. I want to do something noteworthy. What advice do you have for them?
Well, I would say to follow your dreams for sure. I think that getting exposure in whatever field you want to get involved in, you need to get in, even at the bottom level, volunteer, learn about how other people have done what they've done. You also want to create something unique so that you separate yourself from everybody else doing something in the category that you want to be in. Yeah, follow your heart, follow your dreams. You're gonna get knocked down a lot, but just dust yourself off and pick yourself up again, and eventually, you'll get to where you want to be.
Wonderful. Wise words from Izzy Camilleri. Follow your dream, go for it. And remember, folks, as she mentioned, you are never too good for any type of foot in the door. So get in there, volunteer, get involved, and learn from the best. Wise words, Izzy. And, I want to thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you coming on the Today Show Detroit. And by the way, if you do need any models, give me a call.
Okay, thank you. Well, and thank you
Absolutely.
for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. It is a pleasure. Folks, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.